People go missing almost every day all over the world. You might be taking a hike with your loved one in the woods, and when you decide to turn around and check up on them, they are nowhere to be found, just gone to the thin air. Sometimes people turn up days, weeks, months later, and sometimes they never do. Well, today's story will be of one of such cases. Before I get into that story, I want to give a shout out to Mr. John Gordon. You've been such a great inspiration. Keep up the good work. I want to say thank you. Now, today's story is about a young man named Bryce Laspisa. But before getting that story, I want to touch on some few things. It gives you a kind of satisfaction knowing your loved one passed. They've gone to rest with the Lord. Than you not knowing what happened to them. They just disappear or adopted. You're kind of worried and concerned and scared. You don't know what they're going through, what they're passing through at that point in time. They are being tortured, being tormented, they are being fed at all. So many things go through your mind. But when they deceased, okay, they're no longer with us. You know what happened to them. You have a kind of closure. That's kind of pleasant. Than you don't know what happened to your loved ones. Well, it's sad not knowing what transpires when if someone is adopted. It's really sad, and you don't have any closure. You worry day in, day out. It's really sad. I know. I can tell. I know that emotional stress. Well, let's go into this story. But if you're a fan of the true, strange, dark, and mysterious stories, you can just find the right channel. We will be bringing you 1 or 2 stories every week. Now, please do sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Now, it will be about this young man named Bryce Laspisa. Now, Bryce was an only child born to Karen and Michael Laspisa on April 30th, 1994. Early in Bryce's life, Bryce developed this artistic talent and this charming character, which made it easy for him to attract friends. In 2012, Bryce graduated from the Nepalville Central High School, and not long after then, his parents, which were just newly retired, decided to relocate from Illinois to California, which was like some few hours away, where Bryce would be starting his freshman year at the Sierra College, where he would be studying graphics and industrial design. Now, his first year in school went well. Bryce was making good grades, he made good friends, formed a strong bond with his roommate, Sean Dixon, and also had a girlfriend, a beautiful girl named Kim Sly. Now, during summer break, Bryce was so eager to go back to school. He couldn't just stop telling his family and friends how much he wanted to be back in school. He enjoyed the classes, he enjoyed the company and all that. He even went back to school 2 weeks before classes were to resume. By all accounts, everything was looking bright for Bryce. His future was looking real bright. Things was going well. Suddenly, things took a turn, a dark turn. Kim and Sean started noticing some odd behavior in Bryce. Like, he confessed to Kim he was taking this medication called Vyvanse, which was an amphetamine to cure ADHD, which was a condition Bryce was not diagnosed for. He didn't have that condition. So why was he taking the Vyvanse? He disclosed to Kim, his girlfriend, that he was taking it so he could stay awake all night playing video games. Kim was like, "You can't be serious. People take that medication so they can stay awake and read, but it's not advisable, because if you're not prescribed for it, you shouldn't be taking it." And now also, Sean, his roommate, noticed some odd behaviors to Bryce. Like, he was drinking every day, he was missing classes, and he started acting odd. He was being withdrawn, showing signs of depression, and was having this erratic behavior. Bryce was drinking as much as 2/5 every weekend. So his roommate was so concerned and was like, "Something is wrong here. This is not the Bryce I used to know." What went wrong? Nobody could tell. Just all of a sudden, Bryce just changed. Well, on the 27th of August, Bryce broke up with his girlfriend via text, telling her that he believes she's better off without him. That same day, he sent his roommate a very emotional text message telling him that I love you, bro. Seriously, you've been the best thing that happened to me. You saved my soul. That same day, he gave his friend Sean his precious Xbox and a pair of diamond earrings that his mom bought for him, which were quite expensive. There and there, Sean knew that no, something needs to be done. So Sean picked up the phone, called his mom, Karen, Bryce's mom, and told her your son is acting strange, that you need to really check up on him. The mom was concerned because Bryce was the only child. She called up Kim. Fortunately for her, Bryce was at Kim's place. Now she realized that there was some kind of argument going on. Bryce wanted to leave. He was asking Kim to give him his car keys, but she said no, that you're not in no condition to drive. You want to give him his car keys. Then the mom was like, what's going on? Okay, Bryce said he's fine. No, the way he spoke with the mom, she believed, he convinced her that it was okay. The mom told Kim, okay, if he says he's fine, you can give him the key, let him go. And she told Bryce, go home to your apartment and go to bed. I'll be flying in the next day to come check on you. Bryce tried to convince her that he was fine, that she shouldn't book no ticket yet until she hears from him that he has a lot to talk to her about. Deep in her mind, she was like wondering, what is it you want to talk to me about? By all accounts, everything is fine with you according to what you just said. But she was like, okay, fine, I'll wait for your call. So at 1 a.m., because he left Kim's apartment like I think 11:30 p.m. that night, 1 a.m., he called his mom. She didn't pick up the call because probably she would be asleep. So she missed his call. But she called back, he wasn't picking up. So at 9 o'clock, she called back at 9, he wasn't picking up. Then at 11, the phone in the family house, Las Pizzas family house, rang, and they realized that someone has used their roadside insurance to like seek for assistance. Then this guy named Christian, who owns a Castro gas and tire, told them that he just delivered 3 gallons of fuel to their son because he was stranded on the highway around 9 a.m. Now that was almost at the same time the mom was calling, wasn't picking up the call. The mom was like, okay, could you please go back and check on him if he's still there? Because we've been trying to reach him and he's not picking up my calls. He was like Christian was like, okay, fine, I will go check up on him. So he left. To his surprise, Bryce was still at that same spot after he just delivered the gas to him some few hours ago. He just sat down in his car. He was just staring at nothing, just sat down there. He was like, what's going on? I thought you'd be on your way home by now. Your parents are worried about you. What are you doing here? He was like, he didn't say nothing. So Christian convinced him and tried to make him see sense with him that, okay, you got to go. He made sure he was following Bryce for like 30 minutes driving, making sure he was heading towards the house, because from where he ran out of fuel to the house, it's a couple of hours drive. I think 2-3 hours drive from the house in California. So he was tailing Bryce for 30 minutes, making sure he was going home. And by all accounts, he believed Bryce was going home. So he told the family that, yeah, your son is on his way home. I just left him now. I had to go back to my own store and like keep things in order. The mom was so happy. They thanked him, and Christian was on his way. Hours later, Bryce hasn't turned up. So the parents were still worried because he still wasn't picking up their calls. So they had to like file a basic person report. So the police used Bryce's cell phone to ping where he was. So they got the location and they went there, and they realized that Bryce was just sitting in his car, doing nothing, just sitting and staring. They were like, hey man, are you okay? What are you doing here? Your parents are worried about you. Are you on drugs? Are you drunk? They did all test the code, and so Bryce wasn't under the influence of anything. He wasn't drunk, he wasn't on drugs. They even searched his car, there was nothing found. He was talking to them, they could communicate properly. But like, this kid looks fine. Okay, could you call your parents? If he wasn't going to call, he was like reluctant to make any phone call. So the police made the call on his behalf. They spoke to the mom, and the mom was like, "What's going on with you? What are you doing?" He told the mom, "I'm putting things back in my car because the police were searching it and they threw things all around." Mom said, "Okay, fine. Are you coming home?" She said, "Yes, I'm on my way home now. I'm heading home now." So he started driving, actually, was heading home, but not for long. He called his mom and told her that he felt tired and probably he's going to stop somewhere for the night and continue the next day to go home. Mom was, "Okay, fine. If you feel you're tired and you want to rest, that's fine. You can go ahead. But hopefully you'll be home in the morning." He said, "Yes, I'll be home in the morning." The next morning they were waiting, no sign of Bryce. There was a knock on the door. The parents were so excited and thinking it was the son. He was back home so they could find out what was wrong with him. But to their surprise, it was the police. They were like, "Do you guys own a 2003 Toyota Highlander SUV?" Like, "Yes, that's my son's car." "Well, we find that car by the side of the road and a minor accident. There's no sign of your son, there's nobody in the driver's seat. There was just little blood, which they later identified as Bryce's blood. His cell phone, his laptop, and other belongings were in the car, but there was no sign of Bryce." Where did Bryce go? Bryce only had $200 on him, which he withdrew from an ATM the day before. So he had no money on him, just $200. Where would he go? Close to where he had the minor accident, there was this river, the water over there. They searched the water, they made sure they combed every bit and cranny of the water, the woods beside it, they searched everywhere. There was this large search party that was organized. They combed everywhere. Bryce was nowhere to be found. They were on the impression that probably he was hiding somewhere, like to run away from the accident scene, or maybe he just decided to change his identity. Nobody knows. Till this date, nobody knows where Bryce is. Bryce has never been found. It's years now. He's never been found. Nobody, nothing has been found or heard of Bryce. It's so sad to know that your loved one is just out there. You don't know what happened to him. No closure. I feel for the parents. I know what they're going through. The emotional stress and everything is so sad. It's really heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. The parents now put up a $5,000 reward for anybody who has any information that could lead to the whereabouts about Bryce Laspisa. It's really heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But anyway, that will be it for today, guys. I hope you like the story. If you really like the story, please give it a like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be bringing you 1 or 2 stories, more interesting stories every week. So thank you guys and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.